and welcome back. Hello, world, and welcome back to episode 3 of Holy shit, I could actually be getting good at this, finally. All right, everyone, I have so much to tell you. March has been crazy. Right after, I got a little bit depressed, maybe a little bit, because of how I felt that I might not be good enough to be doing this freelance thing. It picked up very well. I have a big project that I'm working on right now, and I am so happy about it. I will tell you more a little bit later, but I just haven't had time all March to film. That's why I didn't upload an informational video earlier this month. But I really wanted to keep this, to record a video about this journey and what happened during March, because it was just a good month. And now it's actually the end of March. I'm recording at on the 27th. So yeah, let me tell you more how that went. Oh, feels like I might need a haircut. Ugh. This is the long hair. This is long. Yeah. All right, so I am super excited to say that this year I will be working on the branding for ETH Sofia 2025, which is like a conference for crypto enthusiasts, all kinds of Web3 blockchain stuff. And honestly, I am so excited because, and I'll tell you why, it is because I think it was last year, my husband asked me, what is something that you want to work on? What is something that you like and want to work on? And I said, I want to work on a conference identity. And now it happened, and I am so happy for it. So I wanted to show you a little bit of how the visual identity for the conference this year looks, because I think it's a really good idea, and I cannot really take all of the credit here for the idea because it wasn't mine. It was actually decided on before I came into the team, but I had a little bit more of art direction sort of freedom on this. And so the idea was to have sort of a comic book related theme, but it's more of 80s Bulgarian comic books that they weren't exactly like the American comic books, but a little bit of the visuals looked the same, and obviously the idea of a comic book is the same. But comic book theme plus sort of Soviet era buildings in Bulgaria that they are like super common nowadays as well. Here they're still they still stand, we still use them, and that's fine. And I think it looks very nice. We used AI to create these images, and my idea was how to make this comic book Soviet buildings a little bit more Web3. And apart from the colors that I chose, purple and this greenish, I created these sort of superheroes, Ethereum-based superheroes, because it's ETH Sofia, which comes from Ethereum. And so I think it turned out pretty well. I created more of these sort of residential buildings, Soviet-based, and I made them a little bit more comic book illustrated. And so the problem with me coming a little bit later in the team was that I needed to create a new web page, a new landing page from scratch. Or it wasn't from scratch, okay? But it took me like a week and a half maybe to put all of it together. And I used Framer to make the landing page because that's what they work with. So, you have to be flexible like this. If your client works with one web builder, you have to be flexible enough to work with that web builder for them. So I am super excited about this project, and I will keep you maybe posted on how it's going And the conference itself is happening in September in Sofia, Bulgaria. If anyone of you is interested in coming to visit, then it will be a good opportunity. Last year, I think the ETH Sofia 2024 was a success, huge success, and like people who have been said that it was amazing and stuff. So I imagine this year would be even better. The biggest problem with working a little bit more to catch up on this work was that I don't know, I got this left shoulder pain for some reason. Like I understand if it's the right one because, you know, I am right-handed and therefore hold my mouse with the right hand and all of this. But the left shoulder, like really. So I need to catch up on fixing this in April, going to the gym a little bit more and standing up a little bit more to walk around because it's just not good. I cannot sit for long anymore. This past week has been really difficult to sit for longer than like an hour or so. So young people, you know, you need to take care of your health before it gets before it gets too late. In regards to my social media presence this month, it has been, if not sparse, maybe just not existent because I just didn't have time. I wanted to make posts in the beginning of March for March 1st, March 3rd, and March 8th because in Bulgaria they are like, I don't know, pretty big holidays. And I had some filmed here and I wanted to show you guys what I did for March 1st. It was basically, I think it turned out pretty well because I really like the animation I made, and it's I wrote in text in Illustrator and then used Firefly to create AI images based on this text. It says Chestita Baba Marta. So we actually have this tradition that is left over from I don't know when, where on March 1st we basically put on ourselves or somewhere else white and red threads, and with time obviously these white and red threads have become bracelets, have become either necklaces, and I don't know, stuff like this. And here are some actually that I want to show you because they're so cute. And they look like this. See, this thingy is made from white and red threads. These are called martenica. And basically everyone in Bulgaria wears these on the 1st of March. And so what I wanted to make with my post was like, hey, look at these guys. They're so cute. I wanted to make a post with text like martenica with white and red threads. And because I got a lot of nice suggestions from Firefly, I decided to put them together in a video. Just, you know, one after the other. It's not that big of a deal. I did fire up Adobe After Effects for it though. Maybe it was an overkill, but whatever. I didn't know how to make it in Photoshop. It's too much work. I basically knew how to make it in After Effects much better. So, and on March 3rd, it is actually a national Bulgarian holiday, which is the Liberation Day for Bulgaria. I wanted to make another post on March 3rd for the Liberation Day, which would be like something very Bulgarian, the Bulgarian flag and stuff like this. But I don't know, I didn't seem to like any of the Firefly suggestions on what I had in mind. I wanted some mountains. I wanted, the Bulgarian flag is white, green, and red. But I don't know, it's just nothing seemed very well made or something. So I scrapped all of these ideas that Firefly gave me, and I just didn't have time afterwards to make this post at all. And March 8th is International Women's Day. However, in Bulgaria it is, or maybe Eastern Europe, I don't know, it is like a bit more special maybe it's not only International Women's Day, but we celebrate the moms and the grandmothers, and small children go to school, for example, with flowers to give to their teachers. Like it's a little bit more, it's more special, a little bit more special than just celebrating International Women's Day. It's happy March 8th, it's a big deal and stuff like this. And yeah, I just didn't have time to create something for that holiday, but I want to make something for next year. I want to plan a little bit earlier for that, and I didn't really have that much inspiration. I feel like for March 8th, it should be a little bit more special, and it should take a little bit more time to think about it and make an illustration, probably. So next year, it will be a little bit more special, I promise. Got that haircut. I think it looks pretty good. I feel much lighter because I don't have so much hair, and I didn't have really time to dye it. So maybe next time we'll dye it a little bit more. But yeah, let me know if I give off any famous people vibes with short hair, because I think I do, but but yeah, I really like it like this. I think this is the shortest I've had it so far since I've cut it last year. Now, as something that I wanted to talk about since maybe last month, I posted a reel on my Instagram about my thoughts on if it's too late to change your careers in your 30s. I also posted my thoughts on this subject on LinkedIn because it's a professional network to see what people think. And I think in my opinion, it is even better to change careers after you've been through life, if you know what I mean. After you've worked in several maybe different positions before, you've gathered some experience from real life, how to save money, how to make money, obviously. And obviously what makes you passionate about doing. I know that many people have hobbies that they want to turn into career, and I really hope that it works out for those people. But it's not just, turning your hobby into a career, because that might hurt you in some cases, depending on the hobby, and if making it a career hurts your passion for it. I mean more like something that challenges you to think, to develop skills, to give better service, and so on. And so I think especially design and maybe programming for some people might be the right thing, is much better to change careers to that later in life. And I know this robs us probably of the years of experience that we could have had if we started in our 20s. I will link here in the cards my story if you want to hear what I've worked with before and how I ended up actually choosing design in the end. I think I had to go through all of that to see what I don't like, to see what path is probably not beneficial to me, so that I can land here in design and be more mature to be successful in this career. What I mean by this is, in probably your early 20s, if you start with design in your early 20s, you have maybe difficulty breaking your ego a little bit, like lowering it. You have difficulty maybe listening to feedback, because I don't know, it's just we're young and emotional and egotistical, and things like this might hurt us, but it's important to be able to listen to those older, more experienced people, to know that what they give you is important for you to learn, like either feedback, other lessons for life, other lessons for the work and how to maybe communicate. You know, all of those things you learn, and if you learn it while doing design at the same time, it might kill your passion for design, is what I think, you know, because you will be struggling with these with this feedback and these lessons that you have to learn while trying to design what you want to design, or be creative in whatever way you want to be creative, and those things will clash, and you would start feeling like design is probably not as fun as you thought. But once you learn that design is not for you, it's for the end user of it, it starts getting easier and easier, and you start receiving feedback a little bit easier. Like it's not so personal as you might have thought in the beginning, right? And so yeah, having gone through all of these lessons in my 20s in another field of work, I think makes it easier for me to appreciate and enjoy design now more. Because if I needed to like learn and receive feedback, and if I'm still in this mindset that, I don't know, like I know everything and I know how to handle clients and stuff like this, then I don't know, it would have just been much worse, obviously. And I think I also have an easier time maybe learning new skills, or easier time constructing my learning experience, because in the beginning, maybe right after university, I didn't really know what learning meant as much. It meant doing, it meant practicing, repeating, iterating, and all of this. Now I know that this is how it is. Like, it's not just going to happen in a week or in a month, and it did eventually click, obviously, with me. But I needed to go through all of the other careers and all of the other jobs that I had to finally be able to be successful in this path this time. Because sure, I'm not successful just yet, you know, but I think it's easier for me for this path because of all of my earlier experience. They shape us into the people that we become. And so I guess I mostly meant that if you're just starting now and you're in your 30s or even in your 40s, like, don't think that, oh, why didn't I start earlier and now it's too late? I don't think it's too late. I don't think at any point it might be too late. I mean, if you want to be a doctor, I don't know. I don't know how much practice and studying that takes. So, you know, choose wisely what career change you want to make. But when we talk about, you know, design or programming, I know the market has become too saturated lately, so, you know, maybe less and less people will choose these careers. But if you happen to think about it, yeah, I think it will be a good career change, especially if you're passionate about it, and if I don't know, you're driven by some curiosity and you always want to tinker with things and you always want to create new things and stuff like this. So yeah, I guess all of this came from the fact that I am sad that I am not with 10 years of experience already, and I could have been if I had started back in 2015, for example. Like, now it will be 10 years since then, and I would have been much farther ahead. But yeah, things happen the way they happen for a reason, and I think now is the correct time for this. And I shouldn't be thinking what would have happened if I started earlier, because it might have been that I would have given up the first month. Okay, I want to thank you all so much for listening to my ramblings in this video. And I also want to thank all my 300 friends on this channel for subscribing. I am I don't know, so happy. I don't even know how 300 people would look like in this room. Probably will be crowded, but I can't even imagine how 300 people would look if they stand here. So I don't know. I'm really surprised and thankful and grateful to everyone who's subscribed and everyone who's watching, of course. Please subscribe if you haven't. Let me know if you have any questions for me, and if there is anything interesting to you that you might want to learn more about, so that I can talk about it next time. I am really digging this hair. So yeah, hope you have a good day, a good week, a good month. Let me know how you're doing, if you're doing some learning or, some challenge of yours down in the comments. Please like the video if you liked it, and I will see you next time. Bye!